It's the mind behind the curtain with your hosts Alex and Jose.
What up, y'all?
How you all doing? Get ready, because we're gonna talk about the yin and the yang,
The bad, the good,
everything universal, the positive and the negative,
the evil,
and the good, the wrong,
the unknown.
and that's right.
Yeah.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
That's right, baby.
You,
What up,
listeners
people?
and Audience, believe it or not.
That's right. Here we go.
That's right, baby. We're back, brother, for another episode of The Mind Behind the Curtain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. And today, man, we're talking about infidelity, aka cheating, aka I want to get hot with somebody else without my partner knowing about it.
Parents!
I was saying parents. Yeah, it's because that's how nasty I am, man. So keep this shit away from my parents, man. No, man, partner.
Wow.
Now this is all raw, no editing.
Nah, man, no.
I gotta just give a quick little disclaimer. So we're by all means no professionals, on psychiatry or psychology or any people that you should listen for advice. We're just talking from
Especially
our heart
when it comes to dating.
and our experience, and then you make up your mind. All right. So
right.
yeah, man, let's get right into it.
All right, so let's talk about Jada and Will Smith
That's the hot topic right now, man.
and August, because he's in the middle of it all.
That's right. Well,
And he was definitely in the middle of it all.
well, they say that August, he was going through some heavy shit, man, and
Health
health issues and maybe some addictions and stuff to some
Right.
drugs and just the pressure of being in the entertainment business,
the
right?
industry, man.
And if you want to click on the clock, that'd be great, bro.
Oh, snap.
You had one job.
Again.
No, just kidding. So,
Failed.
so what happened is that the Smiths, or it was either Will or Jada that opened up the doors for this guy, for him to come in, and they were going to be a support system for this guy, right?
Yeah.
What happened is that
she surely supported his ass.
that's what happens, man. That's what she says. And you know what? This apparently happened a while ago now, right?
Yeah.
But she just decided recently to take
Come
this to
out
the red
with
table and come out. And that's one thing, people, that I think I give her props for doing that, man, for coming out and talking to Will, and especially putting it out there, man, in social media for everybody to see.
That's what I disagree upon. Why would you want to put Will in that situation in the spotlight with all that's happened? Okay,
Right.
I mean, talk about it behind closed doors first of all, and ask him, hey, would you like to come to that table and talk about it? Are you comfortable about talking about it? No, she's just like, no, I'm gonna put this guy in his place. I'm a bitch.
Well, we don't know how what the arrangement was, but definitely it seems like she was the one that made that call and said, "Hey, Will, I want you my red table because I'm gonna come out clean." And he was like, "Oh, hold up, girl. I don't know." And then she's like, "You don't know? We gotta get this out." And he was like, "Okay, we get everything out all the time." He talks about his digestive system and how he farts all the time. So why not talk about this? Right?
Yeah, but that's such a different topic from
It's
farting
to
cheating.
Exactly.
And cheating with, man, that girl right there, she likes them young, dude. Seriously.
How old was August when they did?
Man.
We speculate what?
Well,
in
he
the
was
20s?
born 1992.
Right.
How old is her?
Oh man, she's getting up. She must be getting up there, man. She's probably pushing 50.
She's 50 something.
Right, and she looks amazing, by the way.
It doesn't matter.
She's hot.
We ain't talking about
She's
all
hot.
that. We ain't
So I
talking
don't blame
about-
August for trying to get in there, man. Because she's a hot cougar right there.
It was the other way around. She wanted to get in August. Right. She wanted her to get August into her. Right. But still, I mean, I feel that, that is just pathetic, dude.
Yeah, well, I guess, we will never know what drove them to do this, whether they were single, whether they were swingers and they had an agreement,
True
and
that.
whether they were separated and completely, because she says it, and we'll play back some of the stuff that she says, and she said, hey, listen, we weren't in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
That being said, technically they were still married because they never divorced.
True.
But I guess when you're married, you can have an agreement with your partner and say, hey, let's just take a break. Let's separate from each other. But what I don't agree with is that they brought this man into their home, man. And then she keeps defending him, saying, no, he wasn't a home wrecker and all that. But now this is a guy that, bro, you're opening the doors to him. Yeah, he's broken, he's hurting, but he's a young man. He'll bounce back.
Totally.
But now he's like living for free and getting some of that Jada ass. You know what I mean?
Attention.
Yeah.
Attention.
And Will is like, you're my buddy, don't worry. And then he's like, yeah, man, I'm like,
well,
why don't you have some respect, man?
Right. Well,
and say, hey, I'm not going to cross that line.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the thing is, maybe she had no attention. Mm-hmm. Okay, she was lacking attention from others, especially from Will.
Right.
At that time,
right.
She was looking for something. Now, I can see that part.
Yeah.
But that's selfish on her side, too, right?
Well, let's get right into that, man. Okay, so first we touched on her coming forward and, saying, hey, Will, I want you to be part of this. You have nothing to say about it. You're going to show up. Mm-hmm. But I give her props again because she manned up, man. She, basically... with this, she's taken over or ownership of the relationship. Mm-hmm. She's saying, I'm going to come out because obviously Will, and they talk about it, Will had his fun. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, you got me back. And Will's like, oh, I definitely did. And there was rumors that he was dating this hot model,
yes,
right?
Yes, he was.
And that's the thing that I want to mention too, man, that when you cheat or not that I know firsthand, but and I will tell you a personal story in a bit, but when you cheat on somebody, right, you are happy because you're getting extra ass, right? Mm-hmm. And you're venturing into a new relationship and everything feels normal and fresh because every relationship is the best in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. It's what we call the horny moon in Mexico, right? You're having fun, you're having lots of sex, it's amazing, you're exploring, you're going into adventures. But as soon as your partner finds somebody else, like Will did, who is hotter, younger than Jada, hey, Jada was like, hey, hold up. I got a broken boy here. Probably doesn't have any money right now. He's working on his album. That's the other thing. Where did he freaking record his new album, man? Was it at Will Smith's freaking studio? Probably, yeah. Right? So that brings up the conspiracy side, like how we always talk about conspiracies. Yeah. Because we heard rumors of Jay-Z and Beyonce doing this, right? When Beyonce caught Jay-Z cheating, she put out an album, right? So could this be a whole, from a conspiracy side, a whole show for August to release, to release his album too, man?
Yeah, media get up.
And Jada and Will know this?
Yeah.
And it almost seems like Jada and Will don't have any problem, man.
It's like the sex tape with the Kardashian.
That's right. That's right.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're pushing out the truth about something. Yeah, they pushed out a video on the sex, tape and everything, Kardashian. And then she blew up.
Made her famous. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So maybe this is going to make him famous. Boom.
Yeah, because it's everywhere, man. I mean, now we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, man, that this is because we're going in and out of all these, between what she's talking and then also trying to throw out some real life stuff, right? Mm-hmm. For example, I've had the situation, and I said I was going to talk about this. Whenever I had a problem with an ex, bro, and like when I was younger, and I didn't think of it as cheating because I was like, I need to get away from this relationship. Things are going sour, right? Yeah. And especially in our time when my time when I was younger, I felt like relationships always came with an expiry date, man. Like I knew that within 3 months, 4 months, either one of us was gonna get bored or we were gonna move on. Especially here in the environment that we live in, bro. It's always about what can I get from you? You know what I mean?
Right.
What do you got to offer me? You know, like, is this marriage material? Is this just for fun, right? It always starts for like fun, bro. Always starts like fun. And it's amazing. I love that part. But when I was younger, I felt like it came with an expiry date. So I was always anticipating, okay, this relationship is gonna die within 6 months or whatever. My first relationship was like 2 months, then 6 months. Then it extended to 2 years, 2.5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And what I realized that each time, bro, I came close to ending the relationship, either because we weren't getting along, or it stayed stagnant, or we weren't attracted to each other how we were in the beginning. You know, there was different interest. Maybe somebody else came into the picture. Whatever it was, I would always feel like I'm gonna go hang out with other girlfriends.
Right. I'm
gonna call up that other girl that's been wanting me, that's been on the side for like, 2 months, 3 months, and I'm gonna go hang out with her.
Right.
Right. And that's the way that I would get over my previous relationship. And then eventually I would say, hey, listen, I found somebody else. I'm sorry, right? That's how I would deal with it. But what I didn't realize is that I was carrying that baggage, man. That I was continuing being the same guy that I was on that previous relationship. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. Girls were carrying baggage from their previous relationship, and they brought it into a new relationship. Yeah. Right?
And they always talk about the ex.
And man, that's a red flag.
And it usually happens on the first date.
Yeah. And if it does happen on the first date, get out. Like, it's over, man. Like this, hey, now you know to keep that relationship fun. Because that person is not over that ex yet. Mm-hmm. And maybe they need to resolve some issues. And it's happened to me, man, where I've been the guy that they've used for getting over the ex, or trying to figure out how to fix things with the ex.
Yeah.
And with me now, obviously now, after all these relationships I've had, I said, I don't mind that. I don't mind being the guy that is going to tell you, hey, you can work it out with your ex. Mm-hmm. As long as it's not like something serious, like the guy is abusive, or he's an alcoholic, or a drug addict, or taking advantage of the girl by taking money. And that's the other thing, man. Did August take advantage of the situation? Right?
We don't know.
Jada was like, and that's the thing, when girls describe a good friend as a really, really, really good friend.
You know they're more than good friends.
There's something there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
So with this guy, I mean, was he taking advantage? Was he like using the house? Was he using the studio to record his new album?
Right.
Obviously he's getting some of Jada,
More ways than one.
And yeah, man. And then that's the thing, right? There's always somebody, when there's a love triangle or whatever, or somebody is involved in an infidelity circle or a cheating circle. That person is conscious and knows that there is an ex or there's a boyfriend there, right? And it's happened to me, man. It's happened to me where I felt like, hey, listen, I can be the guy that can give you this,
right?
But you always have that guy over there that can give you that.
Right.
So if I can't give you that, but that guy can give you that, hey, man, you have both the best worlds, right? And that's the way I look at it now, right? That's the way I look at it now, man. And we don't own anybody. That's the thing. We can't claim ownership over anybody. Mm. So if your girl, or, if ladies out there, your guy decides to go with somebody else, let him free. Let him go. Because you don't own that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at the end, what you want is for them to be happy. And like Jada, she probably tried it out, man. And then she realized...
Tried it out?
She definitely tried it out.
She put it on lease? Rented it out for him a little bit?
She rented that young man, bro. So...
Now, this is the thing, okay? That was all going on.
She was like, no, forget it. I don't want that guy. I want to go back to Will. Right?
Yeah, but the thing is, all this is happening, and Will had no inclination it was happening, and they live in the same household?
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
Obviously, he knew.
Maybe they had threesomes.
Maybe they did, man, and we'll never know that, right?
We don't know the whole situation with this, right? But I mean, like I said, she likes him young. That's like,
Now let's get into who does the pushing and the pulling when it comes to like a relationship going sour, bro. Like, say
it could go each way,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes in relationships, you see it most of the time that somebody doesn't want to end it. because of fear, because they don't want to hurt that person, whatever.
Or they're with somebody because not out of love, but infatuation.
That's right. Some of these people confuse love, true, genuine love, for infatuation. Yeah. Of course, yeah, for sure, 100%, man. And the point is that when you get to the point where you are purposely pushing your partner away, it's an indication that something is wrong, right? That's it. I don't want this person anymore. So, as an example with Jada and Will, they say that they started having problems and issues, right? I bet you 100% that when Jada got home or whatever, and she was going through these issues that she was having, these mental issues, I bet you 100% that Will came in with positive energy and was like, "Hey Jada, what's going on?" And she was mute. I guarantee it, man. Right? Or vice versa. Right. Maybe she wanted to talk to Will, and Will was like, "I don't want to talk about anything."
Yeah.
Right? Because it happens in relationships where the communication, not what do you call it, the link between each other, the way that they speak to each other.
And it also depends on their schedules.
And maybe they didn't see each other. Exactly, man.
Yeah.
That brings up another point, man, that, when it comes to marriage or relationships, and how I was saying that I figured that when I was young, that every relationship comes with an expiry date. And I know it's pretty harsh to say expiry date, because nobody wants to hear that eventually that relationship is going to be done, right?
That's true.
Right? But that usually happens, man. And I see it in marriages. Usually people, most of the time, they don't break up. Sometimes they try to fight it and work through it, whatever. But usually between the 7 or the 11-year mark, they start getting annoyed of each other. They don't want to see each other. They are not physically attracted to each other. Or maybe one of them got fat and the other one continued going to the gym and is looking amazing, right?
That's true, yeah.
And is hanging out with people that are looking amazing. And so the energy level is higher than the other person. So do you believe that there is like a time where you look at your partner and say, "That's it, I'm tired, man. I don't want to be with this person anymore"?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're going to a long distance relationship, as I have a long time ago, I felt like, I was giving my all, but I only felt like half of it was coming back to me. And you felt neglected in certain ways, right?
That's right.
Especially you're the one who's making all the phone calls. You're the one who's trying to make it work. And then the other person on the other side is just like, "Oh, well, I'm going to go this weekend to my girl's place. And okay, well, yeah, just give me a call. Oh, I don't know, because, we're going to be busy and I got things to do." And, and that kind of stuff.
Making up barriers and obstacles.
And you start thinking, your mind starts twisting away, right?
That's right.
And you're thinking, "Oh, she's cheating, that motherfucking bitch." You know what I mean?
And sometimes you just feel it, man.
Yo, dude,
you go with your gut feeling and you're like, "Hey, listen, that's it. I'm done. I'm not that guy anymore."
Yeah.
Right?
Or I go in my Kishik Records and find out.
Back to the Kishik Records. So this is another thing too, man. Like, and that's why I wanted to bring this up, is because I sense that, because it's happened to me, like you said, you go into a long distance relationship and you build a home, your girl lives with you now. This is the scenario that I went through. And after a long day of work, after a whole week of long days of work, you come home day in, day out exhausted, man. Not only that, because you had to give the best of yourself during that day, right?
True.
And then you come home and your girl opens the door and she's like, "Oh, hey." And then she just goes, sits down, puts on the TV or whatever, or she ignores you and you're like, "Hey, I just want some love." Right? I just want some love, man. What the hell? Hi, baby. I just worked all day. And then your mind starts saying, "Oh, man, I put in all those hours all this week, man. And every day I come home, she doesn't receive me with love and everything," right?
Yeah, and you know what
you try to like, "Hey, baby," you give a little extra of yourself, right? Whatever is left in you from the day, you give it to her, but she's like, "No, it's not enough."
Yeah.
Right? It's not enough.
And you know what goes through your mind? The milkman knocked on the door.
Right.
You know,
or, yeah.
postman.
Or you start thinking about that girl that you met at work that was making you feel better than your wife or your girlfriend.
That's the thing that's really weird, because like if you're in that type of atmosphere at home and that girl doesn't give you what you're feeding for, what you're fiending for, right?
Right.
And especially when you come home and you're going to bed and she's sleeping already and you're just like, man, I want to get some right now, man. I took a shower, I'm feeling good.
That's because we're very sexual beings. That's right.
That's right. And you know, and you're in the mood.
That's right.
Right? And you, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, come here. No.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. No.
Man, so many times I've heard friends, man. I heard buddies. They're like, dude, she denied me again last night, and I'm like, what? Yeah, man, she's not giving me anything. She's not giving me no love, no sex, nothing, man.
Yeah.
Like not even a little piece of ass, like just for me to rub my hand on it.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing, and I'm like, oh, dude. And that's the thing.
And even in the morning when you're shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know, and you don't get that.
You're like a BMX with a kickstand.
Yeah,
you're ready
man,
to go.
You're ready
man.
to rock, man. Rock.
And that's the thing. And then we have to ask, like, what's going on, right? Like, what? And then that question becomes annoying. And then eventually, sure, that person starts looking for other interests on other people, on other men. You start looking for other interests on other women, and then you start becoming maybe emotionally involved with somebody else. Right. Even through text or email, I've heard of guys, or like I haven't done it myself, but like if I was while I was in a relationship, but I can see how it goes. Not being honest, but there has been stories of like these guys just starting a virtual relationship with somebody, same with women, bro. They go into these virtual worlds,
chat rooms.
Yeah, they create an avatar and they have a fantasy. They have basically it's cheating, man. If you start sexting with somebody else while you're married or in a relationship,
but it goes also with intellect too.
Ooh.
Maybe sometimes when you're in a relationship and that person is an intellectual mindset as your own, you don't feel attracted to that person.
For sure, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if somebody likes to only party, club, that kind of atmosphere, and you don't like that, you like to stay home and chill and stuff, and I'm gonna go out with my girlfriends then, and we're gonna go to the club. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be loyal. Don't worry about it. That kind of thing. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, your friend's calling you. Yo, man, I'm sending you some pictures, man. Check your text. And then you see someone rubbing up on your girl at the club, and you're like, oh man,
damn.
now I gotta get on my PJs, put on my jeans, look good, go down there and get her.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
I seen this is ridiculous. I was at a nightclub. Okay.
How are we doing with time?
20.
All right, we got about 3 more minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I was at a nightclub. Okay, downtown. This was back when Maximus Clean was a DJ. Okay, and this guy was outside. We just let out. Okay, this guy was outside with girls hanging on him and boom, boom, boom. His girl drove up here in her PJs, in her nightgown, came out the car from Seattle, by the way.
Yeah.
Came out the car with a bat, went over to him and started hitting him with the bat, dude, in front of everybody.
Damn.
You know I got some girls back home. I got our boys back home. And what the fuck you doing here with these motherfucking bitches? Bam, bam, bam.
Just lost
dude,
it.
Oh, she lost it.
Yeah.
Lost it.
All right. Well, that leads into our last part of this whole infidelity thing, bro. How do you avoid that type of confrontation, those kind of arguments, bro, those heated arguments, or if you catch yourself being in that argument right there at that moment, because that's when you know that it's over, when everything comes out and it's over.
All right.
How do you avoid it? How do you neutralize it? What do you do in that situation?
What you have to do is be honest to yourself, but be honest to that person at the same time. Okay, so if you're not feeling that relationship anymore, but you want to go out and cheat, break up with that person before you actually go do that cheating.
That's right.
Because then it's not cheating anymore.
Right.
Because you've broken up with that person.
Yeah, that's right.
If you are not happy in any way or form in a relationship, sexually, intellectually, whatever it may be, with conversations, whatever, you have to just let it go. Find something that's going to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do that, of course it's going to turn into something that you're not going to like in the end. People are going to call out the names. People are going to be so mad at each other. And you know what? It's better to break up and be friends so that person doesn't go behind your back and give you a bad freaking reputation out there with all the other women.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Women talk, man.
Oh.
Everybody talks.
Oh.
Even guys talk.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's one thing that I gotta close this segment with. Do not cross the line. Do not cross that boundary where you end up insulting your partner, or even going back to your
calling
homies.
Out them out a name.
Yeah, calling out the name, or going back to your homies and just talking bad about them. And don't do that, man. You don't need to do that. Just don't do it. Just like you say, if you feel like the relationship has gone sour and it's over, then just break up. If you feel like you need to be with somebody else, then break up and say, listen, this is not working. I know it's gonna go crazy, and if it does go crazy and there's no way to resolve it, like you said in one of our conversations, walk away and say, I'm sorry.
And watch out for key words too, like, I just need some time for myself, because that means that girl gonna go out and she gonna do some nasty
and you know what?
shit.
Let them, man. Let them go. And that's the
But don't open the door back up.
No, man. That's the thing. Like, at the end of the day,
I need my space.
At the end of the day, when you end up a relationship, you want to end it in a good note.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and remember all the good times. Remember that you did have good times.
Yeah,
remember that the end is that you love that person and that you don't want any harm or you don't want to insult them.
But this is another thing is too, just before we go, if you do cheat, karma will come get you.
Oh, for sure, 100%, man. It will always, somebody will do it to you at the end of the day.
Yeah, or not even cheat on
right.
you. They might do something else.
Actually, I got the last question, and let's close this up because we're running out of time, and maybe we might have to do a part 2.
Maybe.
Do you think that this is a good marriage or a bad marriage? Does it work the way that they're dealing with this, or does it not work?
Okay, with her personally, and Will already came out, and he said that he felt forced to build the relationship back up.
Whoa. I personally think it's more a business relationship now.
He felt pressure. That was his
so it's more of a business relationship now, and it's gonna work if you keep it business.
Yeah.
But the genuine love and respect for each other, out the window.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a story. We got to do a number 2 because I have a story.
All right, let's do number 2, man.
Yeah,
let's do number 2.
I have a story about having a relationship turning into business, and what happened to me was hardcore, dude. Because she found out I had another girl after that when we broke up.
Yeah.
And she destroyed it.
All right, brother. Well, let's get back. We're gonna do part 2 of this. Stay tuned, man.
Get ready, because we're gonna talk about the yin and the yang, the bad, the good. Everything universal.
Oh shit,
positive and the negative.
I did it.
And the good, the wrong.